That was exciting. I had the opportunity to work with Eileen Davis, who was the architect, in designing, and she'd make these bubbles, and we'd talk about how this related to that, and then it's like, how are we going to come up with this? But one of the most interesting things, I think, is when I told her, I said, well, we need to have bulletproof windows. Her eyes got big. She said, really? Women would feel afraid to come into the shelter because they didn't know who was there and they weren't sure if they could get along with this group or that group. And so we started, my director at that time was my assistant was Teresa Milholland, and she and I came together and developed a format where she and I, a woman of color and a white woman, and we worked together in presenting that and working with the women and helping them to understand that there's so much more that we have in common than we have that are differences. And she and I did some role modeling. There was one incident in particular that we had a woman from the rural area of Indiana, and another woman from Chicago, and they really bumped heads. I mean, it was like, you don't tell me what to do on both sides. These two women really were having a difficult time, so we got together with them, we talked with them in our support groups, and they started realizing that they had so much more in common than they had differences, although they had very different backgrounds, and they left there during that period of time as friends.